felt like you are doing everything right in your piano practice, you're practicing Czerny, you're practicing Hanon, you're practicing scales, but you're just not seeing the results that you want, that used to be me. But here's what I realized. When I first started pursuing degrees in piano performance, I started spending a lot of time in the practice rooms practicing Hanon and Czerny because that's what I thought I was supposed to do. I thought that they were the missing key that would somehow level up my technique and my playing overall. But here's the thing, I spent so much time on Hanon and Czerny, and over the course of a few months, I didn't see any improvement. I eventually realized the truth, which is that Hanon and Czerny can be effective, but only if you practice them the right way. Hey piano people, I'm Ashley. Welcome to Ashley Young Music Studio, where you learn how to practice smarter, not harder. Today we're going to break down why Hanon and Czerny aren't the magical fix that a lot of piano players think they're going to be, and what you can actually do to see huge results with them. Let's dive in. Most piano players start practicing Hanon or Czerny because of these three reasons. And I want you to listen closely so that you can comment below and let me know which one is true for you. The first reason is to improve technique. The second reason is to improve hand coordination or finger independence. And the third reason is to become a better pianist. In other words, just like me, because they kind of heard that it was something they should practice, and so they're doing it. Comment below and let me know which one rings true for you. Now, all three of these are really valid goals, but here's where the problem starts. Most people sit down and play these exercises over and over again, thinking that that alone will help you make progress. And most piano players will often focus on speed because that's how we hear them played, is very, very quickly. But they do this before they've addressed the other more important aspects. And that's where everything starts to go wrong. Let me show you. So Hanon and Czerny won't magically improve technique inherently. And in fact, if you sit down to play Hanon and Czerny without giving technique a thought before you start playing, you can actually develop bad habits that lead to injury. I'm going to show you how to fix this in just a minute. Now, when people use Hanon and Czerny to help with hand coordination or finger independence, this will only work if you are deliberate about making sure that you're doing it accurately when you're practicing them. And there's a few other things you need to pay attention to in order to get your hands to sync up properly and in order to have these exercises be effective for that purpose. I'll show you in just a second. Now, when people use Hanon and Czerny to become a better pianist overall, this just simply won't work unless you are taking the exercises that you're using and making the connection between what you're doing in the exercises and what you're trying to accomplish in your actual pieces of music, which I'll show you how to do. So the common thread here is it's not about what you are practicing. Sitting down and simply playing these exercises over and over won't do anything, and in fact can actually harm you. It's all about how you are practicing these exercises. That is where the magic lies. So let's break it down step by step so that you know exactly how to practice these exercises so that you can get the desired result that you want. The first thing you're going to do is to start slow. And I mean a lot slower than you think. I'm going to say something, and it's going to be something that I want you to remember. So you can write it down or you can rewind the video and listen to it a couple of times, but this is something that most piano players don't realize. And if you can remember this and keep it front of mind when you practice, you will make so much more progress. And that is, speed is always the byproduct of accuracy, okay? Speed is always the byproduct of accuracy and not the other way around. When you focus on speed, before you can even play the notes, before you even know what the rhythm is, before you've even really got the coordination between the hands, you're always going to crash and burn and you're going to develop bad habits. Speed will be the byproduct of accuracy. So start slow. Just focus on getting things accurate first. If you take nothing else away from this video, let it be that. Now, the second thing you're going to do is to make sure that you have proper technique before you start to do the exercise. This means you're gonna make sure your hands are on the edge of the keys. You want to make sure that as you play, your fingers are staying glued to the keys. One of the biggest mistakes that people make when they go to play these exercises is they lift every single finger individually. And that is not the point of these exercises. And in fact, that is going to harm you. Okay? Don't pay attention to what the Hanon or Czerny exercises say in the beginning of the book, in the introductions that these authors wrote. They were writing for different instruments. They were writing for instruments hundreds of years ago. Keep your fingers glued to the keys and use a subtle rotation of your wrist to help you move up the keys. Okay? Your elbow is also going to guide you. It is not in the finger movement alone. Doing it like this will ensure that you get injured and that you never develop how you want to develop. But keeping the fingers glued wrist, you can see how much movement I have when I'm playing. That is going to be the proper technique that helps you develop your technique with these exercises. Now, obviously, that will change on a case-by-case basis depending on the exercise, but keep your proper technique and your proper piano position in mind, and you will do so much better. Now, the third thing that you want to make sure that you do is set specific goals. Don't just sit down and look at these exercises and play them exactly as written. For example, in the Hanon exercise, I'm playing exercise number 1. There's no articulation written in. There's no dynamics written in. And so if I just play it exactly how it's written, it's boring and it doesn't really have any musical purpose. Now, whenever you are playing the piano, my old college professor used to say, it doesn't matter what you're playing, musicality should be the highest goal, right? Because that's the goal when you're playing pieces. So even in a Hanon exercise like this, you want to make it interesting, make it musical, experiment with different articulations. Can you do it all staccato? Can you do it all legato with a big crescendo? Can you do it with a decrescendo? Right? Make it musical. And the fourth thing that you're going to do is make connections between the exercises and what you are actually working on in your repertoire pieces. For example, let's say that you're working on one of the Czerny exercises and you notice that the left-hand chord pattern is really similar to the Chopin Nocturne that you're working on. Practice them side by side and compare. What are the similarities? What are the differences? What is the technique you need? How can you practice each of them to enhance the other? Now, if you follow these steps, it's going to ensure that your time that you spend on Hanon and Czerny are useful and effective as opposed to wasted. Hanon and Czerny are really just one tiny piece of the puzzle that can be effective if you practice them correctly. But the truth is, a lot of piano players are inadvertently practicing all wrong, even beyond Hanon and Czerny. They put a lot of emphasis on what they are practicing and not enough emphasis on how they are practicing. And this leads to a lot of frustration, a lot of burnout, and a lot of just simply not accomplishing your goals and not sounding musical. And this isn't your fault. This is because there's not a lot of education out there that teaches you how to practice so that you're not wasting time and so that you're actually working towards your goals. So inside Casual to Confident Piano Player program, we change this completely. You get the Confidence Roadmap, which is a proven step-by-step method to taking any piece of music to confident musical expression. The roadmap breaks down exactly which milestones you need to hit and exactly the order that you need to follow them in order to be able to play expressively and with way fewer mistakes. You also get access to all of the revolutionary practice methods that help you move between those milestones with so much more ease and so much less time. One of the members of the program named Angela was even able to cut her practice time in half because she was so much more effective and efficient with what she was doing when she sat down to practice.
Even if it's not my piece or I'm not playing that piece, I have aha moment. It's made a huge difference in the way I think about practicing. So instead of just, playing something over and over all week and waiting for it to get better, now before I play, I think. So it cuts down the time enormously because I don't just keep playing through things over and over. I have more of a plan. I would absolutely recommend Casual to Confident to another friend or piano player.
Inside the program, it's completely different than a YouTube tutorial because you actually get to show up with me live in Zoom and I teach you. I get to hear you play, I get to give you feedback and help you get the answers that you need in real time. And there's an incredible community of like-minded piano players that are all walking the same path. So if you're ready to stop guessing and start making real progress in 2025 so you can actually reach all of your piano goals, join us in Casual to Confident Piano Player today. Enrollment is open. It usually opens twice a year, but it might only be opening this one time for 2025. It closes on January 29th. So you're seeing this just a few days before enrollment closes. And this is the last time that it's going to be open at this price point. So don't wait until it's too late. 2025 can be your best piano playing year yet. The link is in the description and I'm also going to put it right here on the end screen for ease, along with another video that's going to teach you even more about practicing effectively. Happy practicing, and I will see you on the inside of Casual to Confident Piano Player.